The sweet aromas of the apple fritter, cinnamon roll, and blueberry muffin are hard to resist. So making it home without reaching in your McDonald's bag is no easy task. But nothing worth doing is easy. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Check out Unregimented Mondays and Fridays on iTunes and ChristopherMedia.net. Christopher Media, let's make some noise.
You guys ready to fire it up?
Fire it up.
Christopher Media, let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan, it's Unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
105. That'd be the frequency of the first radio station that ever actually issued me a check.
Oh, really? That's the first thing I thought of when you said 105.
105.1 The Groove. I got hired to push buttons overnight on the weekend.
Is that what it was called at the time?
If you really want to get into it, I just play the commercials, play the R&B and funk music. Merry Christmas.
And then be replaced by a machine.
Yep, exactly. And now we do this and fuck them.
Right.
I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Rich.
Oh, Jay.
Jay's doing homework.
Jay's just on. He's on and off, man. He's on and off. But you know what? If we just, did the math on the numbers he's alluding to us, I wouldn't fucking do this shit either. Wait, my baby and shit. It's we've all been doing this for a year. But man, if I'm gonna make to what he's alluding to, I'd fucking tell us to fuck off as well. But Jay will be back. Hopefully, he'll be back for the Monday show. But yeah, a lot of shit going on this week.
Big week for podcasting, huh?
Yes, I've been especially juiced about this ever since I heard about Rob from the Weedsman, which is on Fridays and Tuesdays here on the network, ChristopherMedia.net. Initially told me about this because I'll admit with the Marc Maron podcast, I've become just like to people I've interested in listening to. Even with our Rich, you've talked about it with our podcast with Unregimented. I fall behind. It's because we're putting out so much material, and that's where I'm at with Maron. It's now I've just started cherry picking Marc Maron. Hey, I want to hear this person's interview, but Barack Obama doing an episode of WTF. That's big for podcasts. That's huge. For anyone who thinks podcasting is not a viable medium, you can now officially go fuck yourself.
Can I say something? Who the fuck thinks podcasting is not a viable medium?
You heard of a guy named Howard Stern?
Really? Howard Stern shitting on it? Howard
Stern in the last couple of months has been shitting all over podcasting, talking about, which nerds in their basement and shit and all that kind of, and it's, him and Ari Shaffir have been going back and forth about it.
Right.
Yeah. And,
because we know where he gets his money from. It's satellite radio, obviously.
But
yeah, I mean, the easy joke is, who the fuck cares about Howard Stern anymore? But
exactly.
That's the easy joke. The truth is, Aaron, you put your finger on the pulse of this. I think he knows what side his bread is buttered on, and he knows who he needs to suck ass to. And it's just
he's got his thing, right? And it's like he was the king of his thing, right? Nobody was bigger in talk radio than Howard Stern had been for many, many years.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And now it's like, it's one thing. It's not just about the medium of radio shifting over to an online forum. It's that the whole thing is kind of blown open. And what it means to have a talk show or a radio show or a podcast, it could mean whatever the fuck you want it to be.
What blows my mind is there's no reason for him to be threatened, because a podcast you can download or listen to at any time at your leisure. You have to listen to terrestrial radio when it's happening.
That's what I think the big draw of podcasting is. You could start it, you could stop it.
It starts becoming a draw, and it gets to the point where it's just how things are. You get so used to on-demand everything that nobody sits down. There's plenty of shows that come out on Saturday night or Sunday night that I really want to watch, but I know the DVR is grabbing them, and I'll get to them when I get to them. I don't need to sit down right at 10 and enjoy it. Now, there are some people who do a lot of like Twittering, live tweeting during television shows like The Walking Dead and shit like that. which, I mean...
Isn't it all live tweeting? I mean, think about it.
No. They're talking about the show in real time as it's playing. So,
but Twitter's in real time, so is it just really, isn't it like technically appointment tweeting?
They're watching the TV show in real time. I understand. Yeah, obviously, they're tweeting in real time.
It's making an appointment to we're going to meet on Twitter at this time and talk about this thing that's happening while we're on Twitter.
I don't understand your point.
The Walking Dead does have the, I want to say it's called a simulcast, where you can watch it and then through your computer or tablet, whatever the fuck, access it, and people talk about it, and they during commercials they show you like behind the scenes clips and all this good shit. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck does it matter? Okay, it fucked the Nelson ratings up or Nielsen ratings up.
But that's the thing, man. That was the way to go, man. That was the standard, and now it's all fucking shot in the ass. It's all out the window because it's the byproduct of the I want it now, fast food society. But at the same time, it's great. I think for Rich, I think for what we went to Specs for, this is the dream. It is now personality driven. Remember at Specs, it was all about you don't matter, your wallpaper. It's all about the music.
Remember my first statement to Donald Walker when he was giving us the intro to his class, and I was like, "So you want us to be the Stepford DJs?"
Yeah, but yes was
and
the answer.
He got pissed off.
But if you think about it, his answer really was yes. With what he said to us.
Chris, I don't see it as being about I want it now. It's I want it when I want it.
Okay, sure.
Right.
I think you just said the same thing twice, but
no, there's a difference.
That's me in my brain.
No, I get you, Aaron. Yeah. It's
how can I?
Hey, if I want to listen to it on the way to work, and then the trip didn't take as long as I thought it would, I can pause it and I can come right back to it and hit play and leave and pick up where I left off.
Right. I could listen. I can listen to the radio and listen to the same morning program on my way to work and enjoy that. But I get to listen to Adam Carolla in the morning, and then I get to pause it and hear the rest of it on the way back home, where instead of missing out completely on it.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like I'll start it like in the shower. I'll listen to the rest of it on the way to work, and then I'll finish it at lunch.
Right. So that's what I mean is I want it when I want it. Like,
dude, and it's it's like how we all thought the radio worked when we were 4 years old. It actually stops when you shut. When the car shuts off.
Right. Well, all the people inside pause.
Like I swear, until I was like maybe in like the first grade, I thought like the radio stopped and you shut the car off.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and then it started back up again when the car started. That's how it really goes down now, and it's fucking great. And Barack Obama doing WTF legitimized. What bigger get is there if you are in any kind of broadcast medium, whether it's internet or terrestrial?
What bigger get is there? Period for anything. I mean,
the leader of the fucking free world, man.
Even if you didn't agree with him, you'd just have to respect the office and the fact that he's there.
Yeah, dude. Even if it was the devil himself, according to most, even if it was everybody's boy from 6 years ago, even if it was W, they would still make a big deal about it because
I would still listen
because of what it is, because of who it is, because of the office that it is.
And Maron interviewed him in his studio, which is
in his garage. I thought that was
his garage.
Cool.
Yes.
And Obama dropped that M-bomb.
Oh.
I didn't, and you know what? I didn't even notice it. I didn't think it was that big of a deal until the next day when Gina Grad was talking about it on the Adam Carolla show.
Yeah.
To me, it was just because to me, what I thought was great about the interview is Maron interviewed Barack Obama. He did not interview the president of the United States, even though I thought some of Obama's answers were the answers the president would give. But they were two dudes talking.
Well, here's what I noticed. Mark didn't swear.
Yeah, dude, Mark was on good behavior.
He did not even his traditional intro of what the fuckers, what the fuckies, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, hell yeah.
He didn't do any of that. There was no...
Respected him.
The name of the show has fuck in the title, but he didn't say it.
You were talking about on the Weedsman how your daughter just calls it what the F.
Yeah.
She still knows what the F means.
What the F word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mark didn't swear, but he didn't. I don't know. I know what you mean. He was talking to him as a person. And even though Marc Maron's had political shows, obviously, in the
for
past,
sure.
and definitely had a political opinion. That's not really what he does on WTF.
No, his shtick on WTF is he's talking to the person.
Right.
And
And
that's the one thing that struck me about the show when I first...
to me, I mean, I really enjoyed it, but you have, he's trying to talk to the person, and obviously Barack Obama has an agenda, right? I think a big part of the reason that he was there is because not only does he really have nothing to lose, but the court challenge is coming up, and the Supreme Court challenging a major portion of Obamacare.
Yeah, when the interview did get political, Obama's the guy who definitely steered it there.
Right. So he's...
Okay, but time out before we veer
Hold
off
on, no, hold on. I got to finish my thought.
Okay, go ahead.
So Marc Maron is trying to peel back this onion like he normally does, and you get a little peek, but then it starts going to policy. So
Yeah.
I found myself kind of in limbo. Like, I either wanted Obama to just completely open up, or I wish that Bill Maher was sitting across from him so we could have a real conversation about politics.
I get you.
Yeah, fair enough.
Obama was straying into not Maron's wheelhouse, and Maron was trying to stay in his wheelhouse.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, here's the thing about Obama dropping the N-bomb. He already did that. He already did it in his
shouldn't
audio
be a big deal.
version of his a book, Dreams of My Father, or Dreams My Father Had, or whatever it was called. There was a segment where he was talking about him and his boys went to I don't know, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever the fuck it was, and they said, "Hey man, get me some fries." And he was like, "Nigga, I ain't your bitch. Get your own fries." And he actually, that's an actual quote you can look up and get the soundbite from on the internet, because everything's on the internet. Once you say it, it's over with. But yeah, I mean, it's people making a big deal about nothing.
It's just a word. It's unfortunate that we have to all sound like 8-year-olds. But, we do it because it's just not worth the fight, I'm not going to make that my issue. The white guy who can say nigger.
But no.
Whoops.
But the thing is that like it's sad that that's what, out of the fact that he actually did an interview on a podcast 1-on-1. No, I mean, I'm sure there was handlers there, but no one.
I don't believe anybody was in the garage with him.
Maron does not, like pause and go, "Okay, what's your handler say you should say?"
I don't think anybody else was there with him.
Very fluid.
Yes.
And it's sad that that's what we're concentrating on. Well, not we. I mean, but you get what I'm saying. We as like, oh my God, he dropped the N-word.
Dude, because the media needs shit to talk about.
Well, yeah, we're not concentrating. I mean, we're talking about it, but that wasn't the big takeaway for me either.
This 24-hour news cycle, and they run out of shit to talk about.
Man, if he didn't drop an N-bomb, I'd be like, well, how you know that nigga's a real nigga? I mean, I don't know. I don't know any other way to put it. I mean, just like, whatever. He was real. He said his piece.
Okay, but this is where I would take exception with you, Rich, because to me, I wish that I could just use the word referentially. He said nigger, right? But when you actually use it to refer to somebody, to call somebody a nigger, that's a totally different thing.
Better make damn sure that's your boy. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Well,
if not, you're going to get an eye jammy in a hurry. I mean, I look, I know you guys may disagree, whatever, blah, 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 but it's just, it's to me, it's not that big of a deal. And the media made it a big deal, and the right made a big deal about it, because they're like, oh, look, he can say it. Why can't we say it? And it's like, well, because you're a bunch of fucking pasty ass white boys, and you fucking hang out
black.
with
You
pasty
could say
ass
it. It's like the basic rule that everybody knows. Dumbasses.
Yeah, and I mean, your only black friend is the token motherfucker you get to show up on Fox
Aaron,
News.
can we give out a "You're Not Helping" award on Unregimented?
Sure,
Can we
yeah,
give it
why
to
not?
Fox News for white people. Knock it off, man. Fuck it. And hey, by the way, Corolla gets a whole bunch of shit for he always talks about African. He doesn't really single out races. He'll say, he'll use the code word certain communities, but he's always talking about focus on the family and education, and that's how you fix everything. What was Obama talking about?
I know. I was thinking
that's
the
like
same
first
thing.
thing talking about. I was like, he's saying family and education.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's another thing is that. I'm not going to talk about Obama over this soundtrack here. Let me turn this down.
You're the one that played it.
I know. But Shit, I derailed my own train of thought. Give me 1 sec.
You see how Marc Maron flows? We're not flowing like that.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
I hear you.
I'll fill some time here while Aaron's trying to figure it. What struck me about Marc Maron's always been in like my peripheral. Like until like WTF, the last time I heard of him was Short Attention Span Theater when I was in like early high school watching Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And it's just I got into podcasting. I'd been in it for like a year, and the whole reason I got into it was because Drew and Mike got fired. And it was just like, all right, I keep seeing this Marc Maron podcast is like fucking, it's top 5 on iTunes every week in comedy. I'm going to check it out. And it wasn't so much the comedian that drew me to it. It was, when I listened to it, it was him as an interviewer. I was just like, wow, you know, just as someone who was in radio, who had practiced the craft for a bit, it was just like him as an interviewer just struck me like, holy shit, this guy is a fucking phenomenal interviewer. Where the fuck has this guy been?
Right.
He should not be doing stand-up. He should be doing this for a living.
Another recent interview that he did that was just as exciting as the Obama interview for me was the interview with Terry Gross. 'Cause this is somebody that I've listened to for years.
Fresh Air at all.
I love Fresh Air. I love Terry Gross. She is hands down the most brilliant interviewer ever, but she does not grant much interviews, and she really doesn't talk a lot about her own life. And he was able to kind of get her to talk about some really crazy shit that some stories I've never heard before.
What I love what he does is he compels you to keep listening.
Right.
I can't tell you. All I remember about the first person he interviewed, it was like some country or some blues guitarist or something. I don't remember. It was someone that none of us have ever heard of. But I wanted to keep listening because it was he just made it that interesting with what he was getting into, how he was interviewing them, what he was asking them, the conversations they were having. It was just, wow.
And see, the first time I heard him, one of his podcasts where he was doing an interview was Paul Thomas Anderson. And granted, I'm a Paul Thomas Anderson fan. Yeah. But yeah, he started just talking to him as if we were talking to each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't the pat interview answers you expect. Like, so how was it like working with so and so? I mean, he eventually got around to that, but he made it to where the interviewee was relaxed and was able to let their guard down and not give the pat answer.
He's able to be conversational and still manage to. He's looking for where's the story. There's a story in this person. Everybody that he sits down with, there's a story in them that he manages to kind of narrate through the conversation, right? So he's I don't know how to say it better than that. Like
that's a very well way to describe
it.
I
Where
mean,
even like Terry Gross is as brilliant as she is, there's a lot of preparation, and there's certain things that we're going to talk about this and we're going to talk about that, and a little more professional radio in the way that everything gets plugged properly and introduced, where it's just one big long conversation with Marc Maron. I just believe that they're equally as brilliant at what they do, and a conversation between the two of them was fascinating. But
and in tune, it's good to see a guy like him finally getting his with the TV show too. Aaron, you're still behind, right?
I am. I didn't watch the last season yet. There's been so much TV to catch up on.
And you've missed some great shit this season. I'm caught right up, man. It's when I get back into town, it's like the first thing I'll watch is the latest episode of Maron when it's on.
I've been really stuck on the comedians. Billy Crystal and Josh Gad are just fucking hilarious. But
I'm gonna that shit, man. I'm gonna get to that. Oh, it just seems like I finally heard enough and seen enough from both of Billy Crystal obviously, but Josh Gad, I think I'm finally sold on him enough. Like I think I remember I watched the Pod episode. Yeah. And I was amused and I wanted to keep watching.
Josh Gad is weird, but he's really good at being. He's actually a lot more subtle than he comes across as a character at first. So much, like 80% of his humor is in this in delivery of these really nothing lines. They're not jokes. It's all about how he's presenting himself. And he has this he thinks he's a big shot. He's got, people are recognizing him on the streets now, and Frozen movie was really big for him, but he's working next to somebody who's a fucking living legend. And so his big ego is constantly being shrunken down in front of Billy Crystal.
Yeah, it's fucking Billy Crystal, man.
Yeah. And it's funny because you see the same thing from Billy Crystal. He's obviously a legend, but he's actually threatened by this guy
Yeah, he's being reminded of how old he is.
Right.
Constantly.
Right.
He's from the old school.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a brilliant dynamic. What about the other big news story this week?
Real
Are
quick,
we going to move on?
I just want to say this. I can tell you this right now. IFC, ever since the interview with Barack Obama for Maron, has been pushing. I mean, hardcore pushing his show.
Well, yeah, man. Right? He's getting a lot of press right now. I mean,
exactly.
If radio is not shitting its pants over podcasting, it better be now. Bottom line.
Yeah.
I mean,
real. No matter what show, no matter what movie you watch on IFC, and I watch a lot of IFC because apparently I'm a hipster. But it's in the corner is always Maron. Mm-hmm. What time it premieres? New episode. What time it premieres?
He's been in everybody's mouth this last couple of weeks. He got the. Just I tweeted at Maron. I was like, great episode, but who's your biggest get now? I thought about it. Might have come out.
Oh, like where do you go from here?
Yeah, like okay, it's a great interview with the president. Like, who is now your biggest get? You just caught Jaws, motherfucker.
Right. Right.
What do you do now? Who's your biggest get now?
You got the biggest fish in the ocean. Now what do you do?
Yeah, exactly. You caught Moby Dick.
Well, and
Ahab.
You're going to get the attention of a lot of people who have just thought that podcasting was a medium that they didn't have to pay attention to.
Yeah, exactly.
And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, I guess I do have to actually see what's going on over here.
And I was trying to tell my dad, as someone who's just recently gotten into this business, I am very excited about this.
Right. Yeah.
This just legitimized something. I think this is a bigger deal for podcasting than a lot of people want, and shocking that the media seems to be downplaying it. You know, you're not hearing about it so much from radio.
Well, they have
hearing about it from. Yeah. Like I heard about it on, Facebook, which basically is the new print media because it was just through news sites that I like and stuff on there. So, and the only actual audio stuff I've heard about it was on a podcast, which makes sense. Marc Maron now has 2 of the most classic podcast episodes of all time. It's said that the one he did with Louis C.K. is the most popular downloaded podcast of all time.
Mm-hmm. Well, because that one's just brilliant.
I guess now that's going to be number 2.
Right.
Good for podcast. Bottom line, radio.
Let's talk about the other big story this week.
Do we have to?
Come on, you don't want to talk about the rebel flag?
I mean, what is there to say about it?
Chris, would you rather talk about soccer?
Maybe.
Well, it's being
there you go.
Because of this tragedy that happened at the church. It's being removed from. Probably, it's going to be removed from the Georgia Capitol.
Alabama took it down today, didn't they?
No, I don't. They haven't removed it yet. South Carolina. South Carolina and Alabama are flying
South
it.
Carolina, the governor's going, hey, take it down.
Yes.
And now today they decided they're going to debate about it.
Yes, it has. Well, they have to vote on this. Apparently, it can't just be removed.
Whatever. Stop. It's more stereotypes.
All right. Time out. Let me say something.
There's no time out.
Say something before we get into this debate. Everyone's like, "Oh, is it racist? Is it not racist?" Here's the deal. It's a flag of treason. Yeah. Why are we flying a flag of treason?
Okay, well, let's talk about that.
Racist or not, why are we flying a flag of treason underneath the American flag anywhere in this country? Are we flying the ISIS flag? Are we flying the Nazi flag? Are we flying any of that shit? Oh, you just compared this to this. Yeah, I kind of did.
Well, it still has its supporters out there.
Episode, gentlemen, because I think we're going to all come down on the same side of the fence on this one.
The Ben Jones, you know who Ben Jones is? He played Cooter on Dukes of Hazzard, and he was one of because there are people who are still arguing for. Having this flag flying.
Sway girl, sway gonna be.
Yeah, I have friends who actually have it tattooed on their body.
Well, he says that it represents courage, family values, and good times. I've never thought of it representing any of those
good
things.
Times. When you could own black people.
Well,
good times when they all had their own separate bathrooms.
He does have
good times.
He does have an interest in this though, because I was amazed to find out that he owns 2 stores in Tennessee and 1 in Virginia that sells Dukes of Hazzard memorabilia. And he has many items that are emblazoned with the rebel flag on them. And he is refusing to take them off the shelves, no matter what.
All right, well,
as opposed to Walmart,
we're going out of business in
Sears,
90 days. So
eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Google Shopping. These have all removed any trace of the rebel flag from their online stores.
I'm not down with that.
You're not down with having it,
which will probably keep that jackass afloat.
What?
No, I'm not down with. I'm not down with the fact that store. I mean, if stores don't want to sell it, fine.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I'm not down with banning the rebel flag.
Well, that's not a ban on the rebel flag. That's stores choosing not to be associated with it.
I understand what you're saying, but a lot of people are like, "Let's ban the rebel flag." No.
The appropriate behavior is to. Walmart choosing not to sell it. That's just democracy working. Not democracy. That's just capitalism working. And
I was going to say Walmart and democracy.
Yeah, no.
Oh shit!
I misspoke.
Somewhere Jay just woke up.
Jay's spidey sense is tingling.
And it should be removed from government buildings in the same way that we don't want religious symbols to be represented on government grounds. You don't want this, well, like you say, a treasonous flag to be on government property either. If somebody wants to sell it, if somebody wants to buy it, if somebody wants to attach it to their car or tattoo it on their body, hey, that's their business. And that's fine with me, because the easier that the assholes are to identify, then the easier it is to avoid them, you know? And I've never thought of the flag as representing any kind of family value. I'm not saying that it makes me angry when I see it. I just kind of shake my head like, grow up.
To me, that just represents a dark time in our history as a country. That's all I think about when I see that.
Also, this flag has become like the flag of the Civil War and the near secession of 10 states?
Yeah. But we've talked about this. Maybe they should have. And then we can just, all the idiots can all be in one place.
Well, its origins come from Robert E. Lee's army. That's the flag that they would fly. And it just kind of became a symbol of the Confederacy, right? Yeah, and you can argue that if you're going to say that this represents some courage or integrity or some value to you, maybe it did. I'm sure at one point in history it did, but you let assholes take over your flag and represent it in ways that were horrendous to the rest of the nation. So that's where we're at now.
I'm sure at one point in history the fucking swastika meant something good and noble.
Right.
No, it did.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now it does not.
It represented, family values and hard work and, the
swastika goes back to Egyptian times. So, I mean, just because, here's the thing. It got co-opted. It got stuck on a fucking, piece of cloth. It got flown over a country that was oppressing certain people. Hey, you know what? You lost. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Take your fucking flag down. Hey, you, as Aaron said, you want to put it on your body? You want to fucking put it on your car? Good.
Put it right on your forehead. Yeah, put it right on your forehead where I can see it.
Well, yeah, I'd rather the assholes be there, and I can identify them easily than being sneaky about the shit. But it makes my ass itch. I'm so fucking tired of hearing people say Civil War wasn't about slavery.
Yes, of course it was.
Not all about slavery. Okay, I get that, but at the same time, it don't act like slavery was like an ancillary benefit to the Civil War. It wasn't. It was definitely. That was one of the things.
People say it was about states' rights. Yeah, okay, it was about states' rights over human rights.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Civil War wasn't about slavery. It was like saying World War II wasn't about the Holocaust.
Right.
But that's just me.
No, I think that's a perfect correlation.
Until we discovered what was actually going on in Auschwitz and in other concentration camps, we didn't know the horrific amount of shit that was going on with the Jews. We just knew the Jews had it bad.
Right.
We
didn't
we were
understand
like,
the full
Hitler's trying to
scope.
take over the world. We got to stop them.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Look, they're fucking massacring Jews by the truckload. What the fuck? I mean,
There were a lot of rumors, but they didn't actually see the full scope of what happened until after they won.
Yeah, my grandfather served under Patton and was one of the first people to go into the concentration camps and go, what the fuck is going on here? Like, we had no idea that this shit was going on. I mean, we knew that Jews weren't welcome, but I mean, saying someone isn't welcome versus
that's
sticking them in an oven is a big fucking difference.
It's a perfect correlation to what we're talking about with this rebel flag, because sure, the swastika may have started out meaning one thing, but it's too fucking late. I mean, its meaning is ruined. Its meaning is clear to people now, and I think in the same way that it's clear to a lot of people what the meaning behind the rebel flag is. This is, hey, doesn't necessarily mean that you mean violence against black people, but chances are you'd rather not have black people in your neighborhood if you're flying a rebel flag.
When I lived in Westland, Michigan, you guys that don't know, that's a suburb west of Detroit. I mean, obviously Westland.
Detroit?
I had a neighbor who actually flew the rebel flag over the American flag on his flagpole. And my friend, who's black, came into the, he was giving me a ride to my house, and he was like, what the fuck? Welcome to Westland. I don't know what else to tell you, man. I mean, that's the mindset of some people. The South will rise again. My own father used to have a hat that said, American by birth, Southern by the grace of God. And it had the American flag and the stars and bars crossed across the the flagpoles were crossed across, and I was just, Dad, do you understand
what you're saying? Yeah, it's a bold statement, sir.
And he was just, no, I'm proud to be from the South. You can do that without that fucking flag,
right?
Aren't you just? I mean, first of all, being proud of where you were born is as idiotic as being proud of. Hey, I was born with a dick.
Man, shit, eat some grits.
Come on, I'm proud of my country and my dick.
Looks like Scarlett O'Hara, man. There's a bunch of ways.
Being proud of something you can't control is ignorant, in my point of view. Being proud of something that you had no control in is stupid. It's ignorant. And I tried to explain this to my father, and he was like, nope, I'm from the South, and I'm proud. Dad, but you're not that guy. You're not that racist motherfucker. And he's like, why would I be racist? And I'm just like, well, look at your hat.
There are implications in the statement your hat is making, sir.
Yeah. And he never understood it. He went to his grave not understanding it. And I just, at that point, you have to realize you got to throw your hands up. And as Aaron, you said a few shows back, it's a good thing we're dying off,
right? Yeah.
Because we're making room for people who are a lot more enlightened than us. Because it's just, you can't explain anything to these people.
Right.
These people don't want to hear their shit.
There's some relatives where you just don't speak up, even though you really want to, knowing that when they die, you can have a much more enlightened conversation with your children than you're having right now with your elders.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody's like that.
No, not everybody.
Hey, I'm not going to paint everybody older than me as a racist, but
maybe the guy in Westland was broke and just needed a security system.
Well, speaking
but it's
that's fucked up, man. That's fucked up.
Okay, it's the Adam Carolla joke. He was saying the Confederate flag means I have a gun in the house, and the "Don't tread on me" flag means I'm cleaning it right now.
That's awesome.
All right. You know what? That's how I'd take it. I'd be like, oh, that motherfucker over there, he's got an AR-15 somewhere with the fully automatic fucking, No, I got you.
I want to talk a little bit about Freddie Gray. I don't know how much more we have to say about the topic, but it is interesting about the autopsy is done on Freddie Gray. I don't know if you guys heard anything about this.
No, I haven't.
So the injury that caused his death, they describe as a high energy injury, And basically, they describe it as diving into a shallow pool, the types of broken neck injuries that you get from smashing into the bottom of a shallow pond or something. And it was thought that because he wasn't secured in the back of the van or the truck, and they were intentionally like slamming on the brakes to fuck with them, that he was maybe trying to get up or something. They slammed on the brakes and his head went into the fucking side of the truck.
He's in the back of a paddy wagon.
Right.
Who cares if he gets up? Why do you need to slam on the brake? You know what? I can't. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so all officers involved I've been accused of homicide by acts of omission. So they failed to do certain things that would ensure that he wouldn't be hurt. And the driver himself is accused of second-degree murder. Actually, the description was second-degree depraved heart murder. I don't know what the heart means, and I don't know why you have to have depraved in there as a descriptive. I think second-degree and murder kind of covers it all, but that's a little too many qualifiers for second-degree murder. Yeah, it sounds like he was intentionally speeding up and then slamming on the brakes in order to fuck with the guy and fuck him up some more. A guy that you've already wrestled to the ground, handcuffed, and thrown in the back of a locked truck.
Okay, first degree
what
is
the fuck else do you need to do?
Second degree is it happened because of your actions. Am I correct?
You were the cause of the person dying. It wasn't non-premeditated murder.
To fuck them up.
Second degree murder is you kill a guy in a bar fight.
No, that's manslaughter. No, second degree murder is your intent was to kill him, but you didn't pre-plan it.
I'm sorry, you smash a bottle and stab a guy in the neck in a bar fight.
Yes, yeah, like that type of shit. Yes, first degree is
not stick a pistol in your pocket and go there to kill him.
Get your boys together and we're gonna kill this bitch, and you go ahead and do that. Yeah, so all right.
So anyway,
I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe he manslaughter of some sort, but still, that's he ain't gonna get convicted. Come on now, he's a cop. If he does,
I don't know. I don't know about that. Well, we'll see. I guess we'll see.
I mean, let me ask you a question. If I threw you in the back of a paddy wagon and I was fucking purposely gas brake, throwing you around in the back, and you fucking died, would you think that was an accident?
No,
hell no,
not at all.
That was on purpose. That was on purpose. Oh, well, he died. I didn't mean for him to die. Well,
right.
So what?
But the challenge.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, the challenge here is, first of all, getting the whole story when, the only person that's probably likely to tell the truth about what happened is dead. And so that's what the whole autopsy was for. So they take the results of the autopsy, they piece the story together as best as they can. They have to come to this conclusion because nobody's coming out and saying, hey, Ralph was over there fucking, jerking him around.
Fucking Ralph.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is.
It is what the American legal system sets up. As long as there's the benefit of the doubt, you're not supposed to be convicted of guilt. So as long as we can plant that seed of doubt in your mind,
which all goes out the window. Yeah, but as soon as your name hits the press, that all goes out the window. You're already convicted by the court of public opinion.
In public opinion, yeah, definitely. It's like the UCMJ in the military. You're considered guilty until you're proven innocent. That's what we really have in this country. You're supposed to be considered innocent until you're proven guilty. That doesn't happen. That just it doesn't happen. Like you throw a rape or domestic abuse at somebody, boom, immediately they're a rapist and a wife beater, and that's the end of it. That's the end of it. Even if the charges get dropped for lack of evidence, or charges get dropped because there was no evidence, you still carry that around for the rest of your life. But here's the thing that irritates me.
I don't know where you're going with this because these guys seem pretty guilty.
These guys, but they won't fucking carry it to their next job. They might not work for Baltimore anymore, but they're gonna fucking go find another police department they can work for.
No, they're gonna go to. I mean, if they're convicted, you're saying if they're actually acquitted of these charges, that they would go on to work somewhere else?
Yes.
Possibly, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Really? You don't think that happens? You don't think that
I
cops
know
get charged with?
I know it happens, but this is a high-profile story. I don't think I think they're going to have to serve time.
So you think this dude's going to be standing outside of a Costco talking about, let me see your card? for the rest of his life, no matter what happens. Even if he gets, acquitted. You think that's what he's going to do?
Yeah.
You think he ain't going to be a cop somewhere?
No.
All right. You got more faith in the system than I do.
Dude, I'm not saying that cops don't fuck other people up and sometimes kill them and still manage to keep their jobs or work in other police departments. I'm sure that happens. I'm sure that happens way more often than anybody would like to think about. But this case has too much attention on it for anything like that to happen.
I'm kind of with you there, Aaron. There's going to be at least someone's going to be put up as a martyr for this.
Yeah, even if they just are scapegoating the driver on this one.
Was in Ferguson. Darren Wilson will never be a cop again.
Yeah.
Darren Wilson's probably living in fucking Tahiti with Tupac at this point. Being real, you saw he got fired, man. Fucking, you ain't heard from that motherfucker ever again. Dude, he's gone. Dude, he's in Siberia. He's living up in Barrow, Alaska. Fucking, dude. I think there'll be a martyr or two in this Freddie Gray case. There will at least be an example, at least one example made, if not a couple.
Or somebody's going to be living like Walter White.
Yeah, they gotta put at least one head on a pike in town square for this one.
Yeah. Can I lighten the mood then?
Please.
Oh, yes.
No, last week we were talking about Apple Music and their new program, right?
Yes.
And like I was saying last week, I was reserving a lot of my judgment because I have no idea how this works on the artist side. And a lot of that came out in the last week because it turns out Apple Music, the way they have this set up, you sign up, you get 3 months for free, and then they figure by that time you're fucking addicted, so just here's my credit card. And so not getting any revenue for those 3 months, they figured, well, we don't have to pay the artists either because we're not making anything off of this. And Taylor Swift was the one who stood up and said, whoa, wait a minute. You're still using our music to sell your service. Just because you choose to give it away for free for 3 months doesn't mean that should come out of our end. And I think it was like within 2 days, Apple Music came out and said, you're right, and we're going to be paying the artist for that during that 3-month trial period.
Here's the thing. I've been fired up about this since I heard of it. If your boy May, in 6 months gone, writes this same letter to Apple Music, are they making the same decision?
No.
Hell no. But
Right.
when somebody who's a revenue stream for them, somebody who's released one of the biggest albums of this year so far and threatens to pull it off of iTunes because of this, writes this letter, they fucking cave immediately and go, you're right.
No doubt.
I think it's a bunch of bullshit. And I think that's one of the list of reasons, I should say, why I don't dabble in music anymore.
Well, I do give it to Apple for not fighting the issue and understanding where they went wrong.
If it was somebody that's name wasn't Taylor Swift, I bet this
no, it
plays
wouldn't
out
have.
different.
No, they were shamed into doing
never
so.
Heard of.
They were shamed into making this change because
by somebody who has notoriety. My whole thing was if someone else who they've never heard of writes this exact same letter, they'd probably just tell them to go fuck off. We're Apple. We're gonna do what we want. And I'm an Apple booster. You guys know me.
Come on, every company does what they can get away with, right? This was just something that it turns out they couldn't get away with.
Yeah, but see, you have guys
because
like,
one of their revenue streams called them on it. That's what gets me.
Right.
You have guys like John Legend that was on Bill Maher like 5-6 months ago talking about the same thing. You have these streaming services and you get paid literally pennies per play.
No, not pennies. Fractions
of pennies?
Of pennies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, think about it. I mean, for like,
Aaron.
$10, $15, $20, that's got to be divided up how many fucking ways? I mean, you're getting like 0.0004 or some shit like that.
John Legend was on Bill Maher talking about, do you understand how much royalties last year Pharrell made off the song Happy, one of the biggest songs of the year? Right. And Bill Maher's like, I have no idea. He goes, $12,000.
Yeah, there you go. Not even a couple.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's off a streaming
service. That song was everywhere last year. It still shows up in a bunch of shit.
But now, think about how many places that song showed up and how much money that made, right? Because the streaming service isn't even, it's not paying anybody what their music's worth or making anybody a living wage. It's the other ways to commercialize the music.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even though all the artists made was $12,000,
yeah,
the company that put that song out definitely made more than that. Or else they wouldn't have done. They wouldn't have put that song out. And then John Legend brought up a good point. He goes, and we're talking about Pharrell wrote Happy, but what if you have a songwriter? So what does the artist really make? What does the songwriter really make? Now we're splitting that up, but the company still makes sure to get their fucking full cut. Well, and that's where the music industry is just fucking vile, man.
This does kind of loop back around to the beginning of our conversation this week, because this is a new medium that you're not going to be able to fight, that is more of an on-demand type of format that people are just naturally going to gravitate to the point where they accept it as this is how it should be, and they're just trying to find ways to monetize that.
Yeah,
right.
But see,
the medium.
I have to keep defaulting.
The attention
back to
is shifting.
The late '90s, early 2000s, where Public Enemy released an album, an entire album, and they said, "Pay what you want to pay," and every penny comes to us. And that was other bands did that later, and they did it more famously than Public Enemy. But Public Enemy released an entire album. They said, "Hey, we're releasing it. Pay what you want," but every single penny went to them.
Well, and there's plenty of examples of this happening, though, because there's so little revenue coming from other places. If you're not getting if your song's not popular enough to be in a commercial or moody enough to be in a television show, then what are your other options? You're getting $25 checks from your shit being streamed by some people online, and that's it. They are looking to their fan base to support them. And, I mean, that's the same thing as like doing a Kickstarter and saying, hey, we want to record a new album. If you want to hear it, you can donate $25-$50. We'll send you a t-shirt. Maybe we'll put your name in the credits or something, or thank you in some different way. But that's the same thing. It's realizing that if you're going to be successful, it's making this direct connection with your fans and kind of getting the record company and all the other corporations out of the way. But you're absolutely right. I mean, Public Enemy were definitely forefathers of that type of movement. It's almost like they could see what was going to happen.
Radiohead that followed,
right,
etc., etc. But I just haven't we given up on as a consumer, haven't we given up on the buy the physical CD unless you're older or you want something to have the physical copy of? I mean, vinyl is making a big comeback because people are like, man, fuck that CD. I want to buy the vinyl. But they can order it online.
Right. If it's not convenient for me to listen to, I'm just not going to do it. If I'm going to listen to an album, I've got to put it on my iPod or on my phone or on my iPad or something.
But if you really love the album, you'll buy the vinyl and you'll throw it on your fucking stereo.
I guess, but if I only listened to music when I had time to sit down and just listen to music, then it would be rare.
Well, see, that's another thing that kills me.
I haven't bought an album, a hard copy of an album, in probably a good 5 years.
Yeah.
Whether I've obtained it legally or illegally, I've heard it goes on. But it's all been digital. It's all been digital. My music collection, I can't tell you where my CDs are right now. They're in a bunch of shoeboxes because that's a dead medium to me. Everything now is on my computer, my phone, my iPad, my Google Cloud. What the fuck do I need hard copies for?
I had two. Okay, so got married. Both of us had huge CD collections. They were both stored in like these 3 huge ass binders of like 1,500 CDs.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time I was divorced, by the time I was getting divorced, she was staking claim on the CDs, or at least some of those are mine. I was like, fucking half of them. Like,
No Springsteen leaves this house.
Right. I might have done maybe kind of a Brer Rabbit fake out. Like, no, don't take the CDs. Make her feel like she won something. But I was just like, I don't fucking care. It's all on this iPad.
CDs.
Right. And even that,
Please don't take my 8-track tapes.
Another 1,500 records that I have that haven't been touched in forever. Because you know what I did? I fucking downloaded the shit. And I already bought that fucking record. And now I just want to listen to it on my computer instead of having to, dust off the record player. So fuck it. yeah, I fucking illegally downloaded it. I'm not going to pay for the album again. I'm not going to buy into this every time we do a new format change. You're going to have to get all new technology, have to get the latest format and have it mastered especially for that format and blah, blah,
Aaron,
blah.
because of you, Lars will not be buying another Ferrari.
Right. His pool,
it's people like you.
His pool is dry right now. I can picture it. There's just like, a couple leaves falling into an empty pool.
All right, just to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Aaron, because of you,
yes,
guys like my buddy May will not be buying his first fucking Range Rover.
Well, no, because if I liked his music and wanted to support it, I would actually buy it.
Yeah.
I'd go be at the show. I would actually buy the album, in a digital format. I'm talking about shit that I already own, and I could sit there too.
No. Once you bought it, see, that's the
right.
I'm with you. I bought it on cassette. I bought it on fucking CD. I bought it digitally.
Oh, there are albums.
Man, fuck it. If I lose all that, my hard drive crashes. Man, I'm getting that shit over the fuck. Hey, I'm not paying shit for it. I've already paid 3 times for it. So,
right.
What the fuck? Jimi Hendrix's sister really needs another fucking fuzzy toilet seat? No. So, sorry.
Well,
I'm gonna get banned of gypsies,
right?
Illegally. No, I got you.
And think about other things that. There was a huge deal over whether they should allow CDs to and even tapes and records secondhand. Record companies were bent out of shape over that. Especially now that we have this dubbing technology, people are buying a record, recording it to a cassette, and then selling the record, getting money for it, and then somebody else buys it, and they're not getting a cut of that resale, right? Mm-hmm. And that was going to kill the record industry.
Man,
when in reality,
every time we have a jump in technology, it's going to kill,
right?
According to the old technology,
and not seeing the big picture on it.
Because
if you don't shift, if you don't move and get ahead of that trend and be able to see it, then yes, it will kill your business. The same way it almost killed the auto industry in Detroit. They could not see trends and get ahead of them for the longest time and not understand what people really wanted out of cars. So it's the same. They're looking at it as a threat and not realizing that this resale business is what kept a record store on every corner that people could go to where all the new shit was there, and they were using that money to buy all the fucking new shit. They were going there and saying, yeah, trade in all this shit and give me that new one and that new one. And that in itself promoted record sales and kept the venue for those for people to buy CDs and tapes and everything, kept those stores alive. One
of the best record stores in the west side of Detroit that I grew up with. Wow. Totally drew a blank on that. Rock of Ages.
Rock of Ages, yeah.
Yeah, and you could walk in and trade in 5 bullshit fucking cassettes and get a brand new fucking cassette, and you were buying a brand new one. But you trade in 5 like the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack too. You can trade that and the Footloose soundtrack and all that, a bunch of bullshit that no one wanted, and they give you store credit. Boom, you get a new one, and that's how I discovered so much music, and it's lost. It's no longer there as far as that goes. Now it's just,
right.
Hey, you hop on the internet, you look it up.
Well, think about what we were doing earlier, Rich. I don't have a lot of these conversations, but you and I were BSing waiting for Chris, and we were talking about music, and you're like, hey, shoot me with some bands that you're into, and I started playing shit for you, and we got into this whole fucking wormhole. And I used to do that shit going to the record store,
Yeah,
and I understand that there's places online where you can
high fidelity.
Right. I would, my favorite record store that I actually ended up working at for a while, I would go in and go, okay, I'm into this, I'm into that. What else you got for me? Oh, dude, you got to check this, and this out. And there's not a format for having that conversation. There's not a place where you go to have that conversation. I'm sure there's places online, but I don't know. It's not the same thing. But
it's not, because if someone goes, check this out, they post it, and then you have to click, okay, play. It's not instantaneous. It's not, hey, check this out as you play it.
Right.
And you go, oh, no, okay, cool, I like that, or I don't like that. Check this out, and then you play it. That's I don't know, man. Maybe I'm getting off a little too like off the beaten path, but that's what's lost in music today. There's not a whole lot of back and forth interpersonal conversation happening between music lovers. It's just I'm online. I type out what I'm going to type. I hit post.
Well, but they've also taken this hipster ethos to extremes, where it's like, I like this, and my opinion is the only one that matters. If you don't like this shit too, then you're just a fucking asshole, and I don't even want to talk to you.
If you don't like Big Red, then fuck you.
Yeah, right.
You got some block user in your future, faggot. Yeah.
Right. There's very little like, hey, what are you guys listening to? There's much more,
That's what I listen to, and if you don't listen to this, then
right.
you're a dick.
There's much more. Def Leppard is the greatest rock band in the world. Deny me that, and I'll say you're an asshole.
And I'll be that asshole.
Aaron, we all know that the greatest rock band in the world, according to you, is Electric Light Orchestra. So,
did I say
the
greatest
rock band in the world, according to you? I've seen your record collection.
I think ELO gets
pretty good.
ELO gets a bad rap because of their hokey lyrics.
Why? Whoa! Where does ELO get a bad rap?
In what universe do you live where ELO gets a bad rap? My universe, everyone I know thinks they're fucking awesome.
Well, not everybody thinks ELO is awesome.
The only thing I ever heard ELO getting flack about was them using overdubs at live shows because there's not like 65 of Jeff Lynne.
Right.
He's just one man. Huh? Well, this universe where you live in where ELO gets that saddens me.
You think that ELO is respected across the board?
They should be.
They should be, yes. Jeff Lynne's a great songwriter.
Oh, you know what? We're acting like just what we said, what we were just talking about. We're acting like that.
Anybody who doesn't think so can fucking rot in hell.
If you don't like ELO, then fuck you.
Oh, Christ. Oh,
perfect note to wrap
I would
this
say
week
we need
up
Jesus, but we just need Jeff Lynne. That's all we need.
All right.
What about Greg Allman? They look the same.
Yeah, skin of bronze, hair of wool. Looks just like fucking Jeff Allman. Yeah, there we go.
My house, he's Greg Allman.
I know, he looks like a fucking drugged out Hell's Angel. My buddy used to say, there was a picture my mom had after she died. I just, for whatever reason, I never took it down. There's a picture of Jesus, and he was like, "Hey, what's up with Eric Clapton circa 1971?"
Yeah. Well,
and I was like,
"This looked like Jim Morrison from fucking L.A. Woman."
And I was like, "Oh, we need to start the Church of Eric Clapton, circa 1971." There we go.
When he was fucking Patty Harrison.
All strung out in the heroin and shit. Yeah.
Stole George Harrison's wife. Wrote a song about it. Became number one.
And then fucked her.
And then George Harrison said, "You can have her."
Well, he knew better. He's like, yeah, shit. There you go. The bitch
you know the name of the game. You know the name of the game. Your bitch chose me.
Chris, you've been in New York too long. You're going to start using the word, you're going to start being like, son, and not ironically. You're going to be saying that shit for real.
Had a couple beers, smoked a little weed,
Oh, you think? You don't sound like it at all. Oh, shit. All right.
Aaron, pass out.
No, I'm here.
Thank you for listening. Definitely interesting. Hey, can I bring up this point real quick about the whole Charleston thing? We did not, as far as
I wasn't doing the Charleston. I was doing
bad timing. Is it in poor taste to say that?
What?
Like, this one thing this country did not need right now, as far as race relations go, was for that shit in Charleston to go down like it did.
They bought the motherfucker Burger King,
dude. Why
they took him into custody?
Why did they put a Kevlar vest on him? Think of the cost savings of no trial and no incarceration.
Wait, what happened? I was doing the pee-pee dance, not the Charleston. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? What happened in Charleston?
The motherfucker that shot up the church.
Oh yeah. Oh,
the point that walked in and was like, "You're trying to rape my women," and it just popped 9 black people.
No, okay, so yeah, if we're gonna go there, then definitely I will go on record saying that he did it wrong. I mean, nobody's supposed to shoot.
That's the right way to do it.
I know.
Yeah, there is a right way to. Nobody should take an innocent life. But if you have to, make sure that you take out the guilty one last, and that's you. He didn't turn the gun on himself and wipe it and save the rest of this nation a lot of money and grief over your dumb ass.
I got you. Okay.
That goes with my theory of don't put Kevlar on them. Save the cost of a trial. Save the cost of incarceration.
Because we're not savages.
You know,
I mean, drop that motherfucker off in downtown Charleston and call it a day. And there you go. You ever see what they did to Mussolini? Yeah, that'd be him.
We could perhaps take solace in all the black dick he'll be taking for the rest of his life.
There's no way they're putting him.
Black people? You're really gonna hate him now.
Oh, there's no way they're putting him anywhere near any black people.
Oh, they should put him in nothing but. They should put him in a prison in fucking anywhere.
He should get solitary. For his own protection, he should go into solitary.
Oh hell no! They should put him in nothing but. He should be the only white guy in an entire black cell block.
Dude, he should be on the main line. He should be on the main line.
Serving your entire sentence, which is probably going to be the rest of his fucking life in solitary, is fucking tantamount to torture. That's what he deserves. Outside of a bullet in his head, that's what he deserves.
He's going to get the death penalty.
Good. So the only downside is that's going to take a while and still cost a lot of taxpayer money.
And on that happy note.
Yep.
All right.
Till next week.
We'll catch you on Monday. Maybe we'll try to wrangle Jay in. We'll see if he's done doing his homework yet.
Alrighty.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on Monday, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Later, guys.
If you enjoy this show and want more people to know about it, head on over to iTunes, leave a comment, and rate it 5 stars. Make sure you like and share us on Facebook, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Just search for Christopher Media. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Most importantly, we would like to take the time to extend an extra special thanks to you. Christopher Media could not exist without your support. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
You might not think that a few simple words could make you crave McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. But if you listen closely to the sound of me saying McGriddles,